Oh baby, we're back to talk about the other half of Moonrise. Guys, how's it hanging? This is so weird that we've chopped this book up into two parts, and I do apologize. I'm a little out of sorts. I'm like, what the heck did we talk about last week? But I think I've got it. I think I know what's going on. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good time. I forgot how much I love this book until I got to the latter half because spoiler alert, I didn't finish the book until this week. Um, yeah, so that's unfortunate, but that's okay. I didn't have the book. I think I went over this last time, but I'll go over it again. I didn't have the physical book. It's the one that I didn't have, so my butt went over to Audible, not sponsored at all because I was not a fan of it anyways. And I like listened with my ears the book. One moment, please. I've been coughing like insane amounts, so apologies if I keep pausing during this. It's so dry, I think is the problem. Oh my god, also welcome everybody. Welcome to the chat. But I listened to this book on the audiobook and it's just something. It's I feel like I didn't retain quite as much, so I have some different thoughts. But guys, welcome. There's a new cat series by Erin Hunter says Izzy Dog. I saw that. Something about I don't know much. I like glanced at it. It was something about magic though, magic and humans and something like that. I didn't look that close. Witches, I think. I don't know. Just give me my battle cats, Erin Hunter. I beg of you. Drink water says fire heart star. Look, listen to this. I got here. In fact, I have my water right here with me, and my energy drink. But we didn't think about that. So yeah. Oh my God, Blick star. Every time you guys call me that, sends me. Hello, I will be the worst leader you've ever met in my whole life. Changing skies. Is that what the new books is called? Very good grammar. Is that the title of the new book series? I never know. So, oh my god, okay, she's coming back downstairs. She sometimes comes flying down that stairs and I'm concerned for her. So, okay, so back into Moonrise. I forgot, honest to God, how much I love this book. So we had just left off when the clan cats were getting a little suspicious about what was going on and why they couldn't leave. And then this is kind of when everything went south. A lot of things were happening in ThunderClan at the time. However, none of it was really like I I guess really the only thing we can take away is the cats. Some of the cats went missing, so we lost Cloudtail and Brightheart were his big thing. And also, since we lost them, can I just say I hate the fact that Cloudtail and Brightheart left, or they. I mean, we find out later that cats are being like catnapped, I suppose. But like when they first find out that they're missing, everybody turns on him. Everybody turns on him, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he sucked anyways. He was a kitty pet. He probably went back to be a kitty pet. Like he sucks anyways. We didn't actually like him. Are you guys just waiting for him to leave to like express these feelings? Like, can we talk to each other? Can we like have a smile? Why are we hating on Cloudtail? Like, and then I think it was Cinderpelt who stepped up and literally said, yeah, but he was an idiot before. He was stupid. He was the worst thing. He never had a brain. He was but like a little amoeba floating through the sky without a care or concern and filled with whimsy and clouds. Now he's an actual person. But I don't know. I just thought it was so funny. But then somebody's like, oh, well, Brightheart's with him. And Brightheart would never do that. And everybody's like, you know what? You have a point. Brightheart wouldn't do that. And I'm like, that's so real, though. I do. I also love Brightheart. She would never. And then also, poor White Paw. And then I don't know who it is who comments on it. And they're like, yeah. And they left White Paw behind. Like, calling it out. White Paw's in the middle of camp, like, sobbing her eyes out, distressed, dismayed. Her parents are gone. She's inconsolable. And somebody's like, yeah, they ditched their daughter. They never are coming back and they left her there. Like, damn. Holy, way to salt the wound, guys. So I thought that was really funny. But so everybody's missing, and then we found out later that Mistyfoot is missing foot. So that's also unfortunate. And I can't remember if there's anybody else. The other big thing that we find out. Sorry, I'm going through the clan stuff first because the tribe stuff has so much more going on, I think, and yet nothing. Also, yes, last week was very much shorter because we had a family event, a family reunion on my Austin. I was gonna say my boyfriend, but you guys know him. We had a thing to go to, so we had to cut it short. We were getting photographs, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to talk about my cats first. I'm sorry, but now we're gonna finish it up. Sorry, I'm sounding so nasty. Like, I'm not getting sick, but there's something going on. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so we're gonna finish up the clan stuff because then the tribe stuff. So then everybody's like freaking out. We also discover that the rabbits are being poisoned. And Wind Clan. I always say Wind Clan, but no, Wind Clan is so like touchy, and it's because they're being affected probably the worst. I would say between that or ThunderClan, but I definitely think it's Wind Clan because they're poisoning the rabbits. And I forget. Wait, who's? Oh my god! Where's my book? Who's the Wind Clan medicine cat? Is it? Why am I drawing a blank? Barkface? Is it Barkface? Let me see. This is Forest of Secrets, but I'd imagine it's the same guy. Let's see. Who is it? It's Barkface, right? It is. I thought it was Mudfur, but that's definitely RiverClan. So, Blix the icon. Oh! I thought you meant there was an icon in which I should be paying attention to. I'm like, where? But thank you. Oh my god, thank you. Maybe it's Goop's hair. No, go. I've had her for 14 years. Count them. That's probably older than some of you guys. So I don't know. I think it's just the weather's changing. I hope that's what I'm coping with. I'm telling myself. But yeah. So Barkface reveals, sorry, that Wind Clan is just they're hurting, and the rabbits are being poisoned, and he has this one line. And like I don't know why, I think maybe having it being read to me struck a little bit different, because I'm like, actually that is so like terrifying and also so sad, because he's like, we lost half of our elders, or we've lost, I can't remember the exact quote, something we lost half the elders and nearly all of the apprentices. And I'm like, oh my god, like when they said elders, I'm like, that's sad, but then they said, I was like, oh my god. So they're dealing with that, and they're like super, like, obviously hungry because their food source is being everybody's getting an ad. Okay, we'll take a second. I don't know why. I'm telling you. Oh god, that was cute. But I have it set to low. But do know that when you do see an ad, we put food in my and Gooby's bellies. So I do appreciate that. I apologize. Cookie Run Kingdom. Oh, okay. I apologize, but I do I much appreciate you guys watching them and sticking around with me. So yeah, all the rabbits are being poisoned, and then so they decide back in ThunderClan, because they find out all of this shenanigans with the rabbits, and Firestar's like, okay, we're not gonna eat any of the rabbits just to like err on the side of caution. There's this big rabbit that they brought in, and they're all starving, right? Because they have no like prey, it's all being scared off. And Leafpaw is pushing this rabbit out of camp, and old Dappletail comes out, and she's like, I think the heck not. You're not throwing that rabbit out. And everybody's like, well, we have to. It is. Why am I always being called old? Please, I'm just a little guy. Please don't remind me of my mortality. But me, like Dappletail, old, she's like, yeah, this is absolutely unacceptable, and this is the rabbits have never been in been an issue before. You guys are crazy. And then she like grabs the rabbit and eats it really fast, and everybody's like, okay, sounds good. And then surprise, she ends up dead like a paragraph later. No, I think it's a chapter later. So we lose Dappletail. We also lose, also spoilers, but I feel like that just a baby. I am just a baby. I'm old. No, I'm 30. Big 30. Oh god. Oh no, don't remind me of it, please. I'm just a cat. I'm just a figure of your imagination. I'm happy with myself. I'm fine with what I'm doing. Oh, Murder Prefer. Okay, listen to this. Murder Prefer says, Moonrise makes me both very happy and very sad as a diehard Feathertail fan. I even have a Feathertail costume from Halloween last year that I might wear again if I don't finish this year's costume. Murder Prefer, you can't leave us on a cliffhanger like that. What's this year's costume? Because, sure, is it a Warrior Cats costume? Oh my god. Oh, dude, thank you. Oh my god, look at it. We love, oh my god, they're always such a, like a, oh, I love them. This year I'm considering Longtail or Sunnyfall. The fabric will arrive today, so I'll decide when I get home where to prefer. You gotta keep us updated. Oh my god. Dude, I love Sunnyfall, so that's my vote, but also Longtail's a very good choice. Oh my god, thank you. Oh my god. Murder Prefer. Don't love. I feel like I've done that every time. We'll send blue. Can we send blue hearts? Because I see your Vaporeon or a water drop. Anything water and hearts is the emojis that I request for Murder Prefer. Aw, thank you, buddy. Um, thank you, thank you. Uh, I totally, yeah, Feathertail, the whole thing with her is so, and also in that vein, we'll come back to her, but real quick, I kind of forgot about um how it like flips into her POV for a hot second, then comes back. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. But anyways, and for a random chapter too, I don't really, but we'll get there later. So anyways, back to the clan. Dappletail eats this rabbit so fast. I'm like, okay, and then she perishes. And then also spoiler, Larch Kit, Larch, yeah, I think it's LA. I see, I didn't read it, so I only listened to it, but I think it's either Lark or Larch Kit. But man, my boy Dustpelt, like there's certain things I hate about the guy, but like or question about it. But I do, he's such a, oh my god, and they make such a note of how like Ferncloud is not dealing with it well. Is that the first one of their kits that perishes? And not that any more die, because that's not spoilers. But I can't, oh, okay, so anyways, so they're so sad. And so they find out that the cats are missing. We find out that Hawkfrost is a menace. I mean, we knew that before, but oh god, man, do I hate how unsubtle they are with him. But man, do I love Mothwing in this book. And I know that comes as 0% surprise to everybody. Oh my god, hello, one of your Brazilian fans. Oh, it says, oh, who is this? Bear Fern? Oh, that's such a good name. Welcome. Mouse in my house is Blickstar is your cat design inspired by Leafpool. You know, surprisingly, it's not. It used to be a wolf way back in the day, and then I just translated it into a cat form. So there you go. Not very exciting of a story. It's over time evolved, but it was just a brown wolf, and now it's a speckly cat. What the heck was I? What the heck were we talking about 1 second ago? Who was right? Oh, Mothwing. How could I forget? I love Mothwing in this book. Where are my notes? First of all, where is she? I'm kind of going way out of order, but I want to get all the clan stuff done first. Okay, so Mothwing. So Reedpaw, before Mistyfoot goes missing. Reedpaw, oopsies, don't look at that. No. Okay, did I fix it? I think I fixed it. Okay, very good. Reedpaw falls into the river and gets saved by, I think it's Mistyfoot. I was apparently half listening at this point, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And so we see that happens. Mothwing's there, and for some reason Hawkfrost is also there. And so Hawkfrost is like, okay, save her. And Mothwing panics, and she's like, I don't exactly know what to do. And then Leafpaw, I guess Leafpaw steps in and like heals him, but with the help of Spotted Leaf. And the thing is, truly, Leafpool is a girl's girl, you know? She loves so hard, and I love that for her. And tell me that she didn't inherit her father's adoration for Spotted Leaf, because the amount, and not in a weird way, but just like in a, oh my god, like the awe-inspiring Spotted Leaf, because she's constantly commenting on her smell as well. I'm like, why is this such a specific, and why are my eyes looking in the wrong spot? Hold on one moment, you're gonna see something again. Okay, there we go. My eyes are in the right spot. I don't know. What do I think about Mothpool? It's okay, I guess. I'm just kidding. I love Mothpool. And anybody who reads this book specifically, reads this book and goes, I guess they're probably just good friends. You're in denial, my friend. You are so in denial. Anybody who, like, any other characters, and this is where I get on my soapbox and start pounding my fists on the table. Any other character who had interactions like this, and here's a hot take, specifically if they were a heterosexual couple, they would be going nuts. They would be like, these are their soulmates, they're meant for each other, blah, 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 blah. But no, because they are so in love, and I will die on that hill. How do you hate Leafpool? It says McKay, what's this, McKay? Micaiah? That's a cool name. How? I love Leafpool. Anybody who, I need to know, because I was like swept up in the fandom, and everybody's like, oh yeah, Leafpool's terrible, and I was like, yeah, maybe, I guess, but like the more I read like over the past like 10 years, I'm like, no, I actually love Leafpool. She's so just real. I gotta know what. Tell me why you don't like Leafpool. I'm just curious. I'm not trying to be aggressive. I am aggressive because I love Leafpool and I will fight to the death. Well, I'm just joking. But no, I'm curious to know. But I love Mothpool, dude. And so like Leafpaw steps in and she like helps Reedpaw with the assistance from Spotted Leaf, and then Mothwing, very real, is like, oh my, because everybody leaves and everything's fine, and she looks over. And she's like, I messed up. She's like, this was my one chance to prove that I know what I'm doing, that I'm capable. And I choked. Like, I messed it up. I didn't know what to do. I panicked, which is so like, how could you not? You are a new doctor, you're a new medical profession. No, you're like under pressure. It's a high stakes situation. You're being yelled at by your brother, so of course you're gonna be stressed out, and of course you're gonna like panic. But it's such a real moment and such a, oh, man, I just like, I feel so much sympathy for her, because that, who hasn't been there, who hasn't had that of like, I flubbed that situation hard, that I'm very embarrassed and I didn't do how I wanted to do. And she's just, but she's a little bit, I don't want to say aggressive to Leaf Paw, because she's not, but she's kind of like dunking on herself, being like, yeah, well, I didn't do it. And like Leaf Paw's trying to console her, and she's like, yeah, but like yeah, but I still didn't do it. So it's like she's not angry at her, but she's like angry at herself and kind of taking it out on Leaf Paw. Sorry, but Leaf Paw's the only one left there, I'm pretty sure at this point. Surely, I can't really remember, so it makes sense. Not, I mean, she wasn't terrible, but she was just down on herself. So that made it so real, but then that pushed later for her to like start the doubt in her. And like, honestly, a hot take. Spotted Leaf stepped in to help Leafpool at Paw. Sorry, I'm gonna do that over and over. Leafpaw. And Leafpaw, even in her head, said, I wouldn't have known that had Spotted Leaf not been here. Like, I had help. Because she said, I can't remember the exact quote, but she's like, I choked, and then she's like, oh, anybody wouldn't like be under stress and be panicked. This was Leafpaw. She'd be like, anybody would be stressed and under panic and not know what to do. And then Mothwing is like, well, you knew what to do. And then in Leafpaw's mind, she's like, yeah, but I had help. So I don't know. So I mean, I'm just saying, StarClan's kind of a jerk to Mothwing for not helping, but what can I say? Oh, Freddy the Wolf, hello, welcome. My day's not bad, buddy. It's not bad. We're chit-chatting about kitty cats. So, honestly, couldn't think of a better way to start it, at least. Hold on, let me have a little sip of my drink. Ah. So, yeah, so I love, and also, Mothwing. Leafpaw is consoling her, and once more, Leafpaw comments on Mothwing being beautiful, even in the thick of like a traumatic event, and everybody's sad and like oh my god, stressed out. And then Leafpaw in her mind says, "Oh my god, she's so beautiful." Well, she doesn't. She says she puts her. I think what is she presses her nose into her beautiful fur or something like that. I'm like, Leafpool, you were just like your dad, unsubtle. But I love that. Leafpaw, sorry. Yeah, man, I love Leafpaw. So there was that, and then the best, honestly, one of the best moments for Mothwing, in my opinion. So Leafpaw and Sorreltail go hunting, and everything like crappy. They cannot get food. It is like the forest is like barren. RiverClan is thriving because they still have fish. They're well fed, and like they make a big point of it. And Leafpaw and Sorreltail are hungry and starving and hunting, so they find a something. I think it's a squirrel or something, but it runs over RiverClan territory. Sorreltail jumps on it, and then Hawkfrost is there. I don't know if he's just like prowling the border, but he's just standing there, and he jumps on Sorreltail, and the audiobook gives him a surferman voice, and it kills me. It's so funny. Iggy, you leave that goob alone. Come here, Iggy. Oh, sheepback. Oh, you want to come cuddle with me? Yeah, come on up. Oh, we're gonna get some Iggy some more. Hi, you. Yeah. Bentley, she likes Iggy, she likes the cat, but she likes her personal space because she's an old ornery woman, same. So when Iggy starts trying to cuddle with her, Goob's like, I don't think so, and then she leaves. Hi, you. Now Iggy's here, everybody say hi, Iggy. I can't stop kissing her, and then she doesn't want to stay with me because I've kissed her, and She's like, no, I'm only here because of my own will. And the second I kissed her. Also, I had a dream. I had a T-Rex. I think it's because I'm playing a lot of dinosaurs. This is off topic, but I had a dream that I had like a T-Rex. It was like the size of my forearm, so it's little. And there's like 3 of them in a tank. And I'm like, this doesn't feel humane. I'm like, I do not have enough space for this T-Rex, all these T-Rexes. So I'm like, I have to sell one of these. And Austin was there, and I'm like, yeah, we gotta sell one of these T-Rexes because I don't have the space to home them, and I don't want to be, like, cruel to these T-Rexes. And I'm like, I'll sell them for, like, $80. And he's like, I was thinking to sell them for $80,000. I'm like, we can't sell. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I was just like, I was dreaming about T-Rexes, I guess. Oh, Dylan! Oh, thank you, Dylan. They sent in a super chat. Why didn't it pop up? Hey. YouTube. I don't know why it didn't pop up, but thank you. Is there no comment there? What the heck, YouTube? But thank you, Dylan. We will shout it out regardless. Mwah. Oh, everybody's saying, Eggy. Eggy. Everybody wants you, and now you're ignoring us. She's left because I kissed her. So, when am I going to stream more Path of Titans? So soon. I want to stream that dinosaur game. I've been nutty busy, but we'll be back so soon with the dinosaurs. Write a book on Iggy. Oh my god, it would be such a boring book. It would be just 300 pages of saying that cat is so stinky. Stinky little cat. One moment, please. I got a coffee. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully that mic was muted because I just looked up and it possibly might have not been, but I'm hoping it was. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the one of the best points in for Mothwing. Oh my god, so Hawkfrost has held Sorreltail. He's like holding her down. She's weakened because she's like starving. And Hawkfrost is like, we're gonna tell we're gonna tell Leopardstar about this, and you guys are gonna get in trouble, na 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 na. And then Sorreltail's like, well, you can try to take me back, but I'm gonna fight my whole way there. And he's like, okay, fine, do that. But then Mothwing appears, and she's like assessing the situation, and she's like, no, like just let them go, like there's no point. And she's like, you know, Leopardstar is just like gonna get mad or something like that. And he's like, well, she should know like that they're weak and we should start a fight over this. And Mothwing makes the point of saying something like, oh, like she would never make a fight against Firestar, she owes him too much. He gave her RiverClan back after the Great Battle. She would never start a war with him. And then he's like, well, she would for a good reason. Anyways, long story short, Hawkfrost is being naughty and he's trying to like start a war between ThunderClan and RiverClan. And so he's like not letting Sorreltail go and just being a little stinker about it. And then Mothwing, after trying all her cards, she has like one final trump card, and she goes, well, she's like, well, if you want to start a war between ThunderClan and RiverClan, or if you want to take over ThunderClan's territory, you're not doing it right. And he's like, well, how do you know? Like, do you know the right way? And she goes, well, I do. And I'm like, oh, I kind of forgot about this, but she's so brilliant. She's so beautiful, brilliant, smart, lovely, caring, kind, perfect. But Mothwing is like, yeah, like you don't be aggressive with them. You be kind to them. You show them kindness, and you know, make them in debt to you. Make them grateful for you or grateful to you, so that they'll just ignore you and let the Two Lakes finish the job. Then when the Two Lakes got rid of them, we swoop in and we take ThunderClan's territory. And it shows this moment that she has this mindset, much like Hawkfrost, much like Tiger Claw, of like, she's thought about this. Like, that is not just something that she comes up with. But, like, man, Tiger Claw had a big fumble there, because had he convinced Mothwing to be, like, evil, he wouldn't have, because she's perfect. But I feel like he would have had so much more success with any 3 of his children. Maybe Tawny Pelt too, but I don't know. But like, she has this moment. Hold on, let me add some to this drink. But she has this moment where she's like, yeah, of course. And like, it's a good idea. I'm like, oh my god, Mothwing. And then Hawkfrost is like, hang on, you're onto something. And poor Leafpaw is like in the back, and her thoughts are like, I trusted her. I thought we were friends. She was using me this whole time. Like, she was just trying to get, like, doing what she was saying, being nice to me, blah, 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 blah. And for a moment, I'm like, I don't really remember this part. I'm like, oh my god. And so Hawkfrost is like, you know what? You're right. So he lets her go. And then Leafpaw and Sorreltail are like, oh my god, and they leave. And then of course Mothwing comes back and she's like, Leafpaw, and or Paw. And then they talk and she's like, I was just joking, I swear. But she was just so nice, and she's like, I had to say that, like, nothing else I would have said he wouldn't have let you go, and like I had to do what I had to do. I'm like, you're so right, girly. And I just thought that was so brilliant. But the fact, it wasn't even the fact that she said it, but it was the fact that she had that full plan. That was a good plan. And she was just using it as a throwaway to get her brother to do what she wanted. Or not do what she wanted, but like, let Sorreltail go. I'm like, oh my god, queen. I'm like, you're so capable and beautiful. And then that's about it that happens. And oh, no. And then at the very end, Leafpool gets taken in a cage. Sad. But, hold on, one more. That was my chair, I swear. So, I'm struggling for my life over here. So then, that's the clan stuff. Back to the tribe. This is when everything goes down. So, we find out that the tribe cats are like, you know what? Absolutely not. You're not leaving, and Stormfur staying with us. Because they're taken to the Cave of Pointed Stones. And Stoneteller reveals, like, we had a prophecy that you were gonna come and save our clan. And the clan cats are like, or save our tribe, I guess. Oh, I was like, what does that sound? But I think it's awesome. And they're like, you're gonna save our tribe. And the clan cats are like, huh? I save them from what? And they're like, Sharptooth, aka a big, giant, scary, huge, terrifying, unkillable monster. You're gonna go and kill that guy. And he's like, what? And then, so they find out that he has to kill what I believe is a cougar. I got to imagine it's a cougar or a mountain lion, which is, I believe, the same thing. Oh my god. So they're like, oh my god. So they're like, you're staying with us, Stormfur. And then they kick all the clan cats out. And they're like, we're keeping Stormfur. He's gonna kill our #1 enemy. You guys can go F off and figure out your life. We're gonna keep him, though. So, see ya. And they're like, oh my god. So they leave. And, like, I'm kind of, like, condensing it. But, poor Stormfur, and I never really thought about it from this angle, but Leafpaw is so young for Moth, says Cat Lover. I don't think she is, though. Like, I think, like, because they make a note that Mothwing is, like, a new, like, yes, she has wording, but she's a new, like, warrior. Like, brand new at the start of the book. So she is, like, just out of apprentice age. And technically, if she was a medicine cat, she would still be an apprentice. But, like, by the end of the books, like when we start the books, Leafpaw has been a medicine cat for, I think, a couple moons at this point, because it's not like this is her first day. So I think they're closer in age than we think. Like, I truly do think that they are, like, I don't think they're a problematic gap, because Mothwing wouldn't have been born. When would she have been born? Like, I guess Tiger Claw died, I don't even know, like a year before the start of the book? And I think, like, Leafpaw and Squirrelpaw came shortly after, because, I mean, it's only been a year, and they're already, like, six months old, so, if anything, they're only about 6 months apart, if that, but I'm not gonna fight about it. But I think they are pretty close in age. Sorry, me going on the defense. But so they're like, yeah, you're gonna kill Sharptooth. And poor Stormfur, and he makes this point, and I'm like, dang, I didn't even, like, think about this. But, like, he was saying, he's like, in his thoughts, he's like, I'm feeling so betrayed. He's like, I thought these cats loved me and liked me for me. He's like, I thought, you know, my whole life, people have been questioning my loyalties. They've been questioning whether or not I should be here with my, like, split clan parentage, and I've always had to work harder than everybody else. Everybody's been giving me the side eye. But when I came here, everybody accepted me, and everybody, like, was proud of what I was doing. And I thought that was just for me. Turns out they were just using me, especially Brooke. And also, Stormfur is so damn thirsty in this book. It is unbelievable. Like, he has a huge, well, not huge, but he has a crush on Squirrelpaw. And he decides, no, I do not have a crush on her because she's in another clan and it wouldn't work. But then he's like, but I have a crush on Brooke. And he's like, I never felt this way about Squirrelpaw the way I feel for Brooke. Like, what is this the way that Crowpaw and Feathertail feel? Like, if they feel like that, like, maybe I misunderstood it. Maybe, like, this is because he really loves Brooke. And then when they leave, spoiler alert, he's like, for that brief moment, he's like, hang on. He's like, maybe I do like squirrel paw. I'm like, bro. I'm like, chill. So, I thought that was funny. Also, yes, we did also find out that Tiger Claw is Mothwing and Hawkfrost's dad. I'm like, oh, dastardly. Oh my god, I'm just making sound on this episode. Holy cow. Storm X Squirrel sucked, says Caliber. Yeah, that was a weird one, I have to say. But can I have a real take? Man, when I was little, I thought that Brambleclaw and Feathertail were cute together. I'm like, oh my god, because they're both kind of like in this book. Like, Feathertail was kind of calm and like just gentle and stuff. And in this book, I mean, it changes, but in this book, Brambleclaw is just like very leaderly, kind of like he's only really kind of aggressive and like spicy when he's like arguing with Squirrelpaw. So, yeah, so found out it was kind of obvious. Like, I guess, yeah, that was, or I guess they officially, like, last book they said yes, Tiger Claw or Leafpaw. No, it was the beginning of this book. Can't remember. Was like, oh, I think Tiger Claw's their dad, but then it was a verbal agreement from Mothwing of like, yes, he was our dad. Like, how did you know, kind of thing. So it was like an actual like cement resolution, whatever. But yeah, so Stormfur is just a thirsty guy. Did I say Stone? I meant Storm. And so he's like, you're gonna stay. They see Sharptooth. Oh my god. I had to take a sip. I forgot just how actually terrifying that would be. Okay, so you're just vibing in your house. And since we're talking about T-Rexes, let's bring it back. A T-Rex bursts into your front door. You're like, holy cow, that's scary. We better run. So he bursts in, and first of all, he punches, like, Sharptooth, not the T-Rex, the cougar in the book. He jumps in, and he punches the bouncer of the club in the head and kills him, essentially. Because he throws him, and he hits the rock with a sickening thud. You would think, oh, Sharptooth is wanting to have, like, a cat for a snack. So he would just grab the guy he killed and go. No. He wants one that's alive. I'm like, oh my god. So he's like, well, I killed that one. That's no fun. So he's terrorizing. He's fighting. Everybody's jumping on his back. He's shaking him off. And everything's in chaos. Everybody's screaming. The clan cats are back to save Stormfur. And they're like, oh my god. And all is in chaos. And then we turn and we see, and it says, Sharptooth goes to leave, and he has a cat in his mouth, and they're saying this cat has a silent scream, which I'm assuming just because it's so chaotic in the tribe and it's so loud. And it's Star, the cat mother, and she is screaming, so she's alive. She's in its mouth, and he's carrying her away to, and they use this term, and I'm like, that is haunting, to turn them into fresh kill. That is so gross and scary. Like that, like, I don't know, it didn't strike me as a kid, and like, yeah, it's just a nothing, but when you really think about it, like, I'm like, oh, that guy's gonna eat her. Like, eat her. And this is dark. Possibly eat her while she's alive. I'm just like, that is so much, because why would he take this cat when there was all these other ones, but he wanted the thrill of, it was just like, I'm like, oh my god, and the terror of being carried away, knowing, oh my god, and I'm like, that's actually so scary when you think about it, of like being carried away knowing he's gonna eat you. I'm like, oh my god, what a terrifying thing. And so the clan cats are like, yeah, we're out of here, and it's, oh my god, it's so, like, and again, maybe it's because it was being read to me via audiobook, but I'm like, that's so chilling. That's so scary. So the clan cats leave, and then they're having this moment where they're like going home, and Stormfur gets a sign from Star Clan Cat. Surprise, surprise, it's Silverstream. And I think it's so funny that Silverstream comes down, talks to him. They have like a full conversation. They're like, la 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 la, my son, or she doesn't say that, but she's like, oh, like, this is like, we guide you just as the tribe's ancestors guide them. And then Stormfur is something like, well, like, which is more important? She goes like, both are important, both like have value, and blah blah blah. And he's like, has this guilt for leaving. And then as the conversation is wrapping up, he's like, by the way, who are you? And she goes, Stormfur, I am your mother. And she like disappears. He's like, no way. So I'm like, how did you not, like, these cats are so, like, not able to put context clues together at all. Who do you think it would be, my guy? I get that you never met her, but, like, he thought it was Feathertail. For, like, at first, he's like, oh my god, it's Feathertail. Hang on, that's not Feathertail. Oh, well. Like, oh, else could it be? But, whatever. I guess if you're in a high-stress situation, you wouldn't really think about that. So, that Stormfur's like, you know what? We gotta go back. I gotta go back. He's like, I wasn't even part of this prophecy from StarClan. You guys go back to the clans. I gotta go save the tribe. Like, he's like, it was my destiny. I have to go. And then he's like, you guys don't have to stay with me. And so, they're like, okay, sounds good, but actually no, because Feathertail's like, well, I'm not leaving you. Like, if you're staying, I'm staying. And then, of course, Crowpaw was like, well, Feathertail, if you're staying, I'm staying. And then slowly everybody's like, yeah, like, we'll stay with you. So very, very nice. And so they go back, and they're like, and they find, what's their name? Talon. And, so Talon was sent, hold on, let me test my knowledge. Talon, Rock, and Bird, I think they were named. They were like, they found them in a random cave, and they're like, we were sent to kill Sharptooth, we failed, there were 6 of us, now there's 3, we failed, and we're not supposed to come back till Sharptooth's dead. So anyways, they come back, and he finds out, and Talon looks at the cast, and he's like, do you know who Brooke is? Like, have you seen Brooke? And Stormfur's all mad, he's like, oh my god, he's like all jealous, he's like, why would he know about Brooke? Why is he asking about her? Like, is that her mate? Blah, 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 and he's like, getting all, like, stressed out, and then Talon says, yes, because that is my sister and I'm worried about her. And Stormfur immediately like, and I'm like, oh my god, bro, you are so thirsty always. Hold on. But no, he's like, no, that's my sister actually. He's like, okay, thank god. And then I like Talon a lot, because then Talon was like, yeah, you wouldn't think that such a pretty cat would be related to some guy like me. And I'm like, Talon, you're just fine, buddy. I just really liked him. I thought he was sweet. And also, Stoneteller is a menace, and I'll die on that hill. I think the hill is very small, and everybody agrees. Everybody's on the hill with me, but... So they go back, and they do their whole thing, and they're fighting. They have a plan. They're like, we're gonna fill this rabbit up with simp detected. That is Stormfur, honestly, this whole book. He is so thirsty throughout this whole thing. I'm so sorry, I'm so nasty today. But Squirrelpaw has a plan. She's like, we're gonna get this rabbit, we're gonna fill that puppy up with death berries, and he's gonna grab the rabbit, he's gonna eat it, and then he's gonna die. Good plan, except for we forgot the one little caveat of Sharptooth liking live prey. Scary. And so we're like, oh my god. So they bring this rabbit full of death berries. Sharptooth arrives a little early, but he arrives. He sees the rabbit. He basically he puts his little nose up at it and flicks it across her. He's like, I'm not eating that garbage. I have a refined palate. And everybody's like, no, that was our plan. And so everything's going wrong. And I mean, I feel like everybody knows this scene. Sharptooth is gonna eat Crowpaw. And so he's like backed into a corner. Stormfur and Feathertail are up in the sky, and Feathertail like gets this, oh god, and the scene was so, man, this scene, like, oh my god. So she, under her breath, goes, she's like, I hear it now, like I know what I'm supposed to do. She's like, the voices are so much more clear now, like this is why I'm here. And she's like, I can't really remember, because I was getting a little emotional, but I think she said to, like, I don't even know if she said anything to Stormfur. But she's like, okay, like, I gotta do this, and then she jumps onto what's the one hanging down? Stalagmite or stalactite? Is it, which one's going down? Stalactite? I don't know, the pointy thingy from the roof, that one. She jumps on it, and, like, I don't actually know how she died, because, I mean, the rock bonked Sharptooth on the head, or something, but they make a point of, like, Sharptooth was kind of like, ooh, he had, like, the little burst around his head, but, like, I don't think it impaled him, because it doesn't say that it impaled him, but I would just imagine that a gigantic rock smashing him on the head's probably gonna do some good damage, so I think he got KO'd, but they say it was, like, a shudder, and then he passes. I can hear the voices clearly now. It says, yes, that was the exact quote. Oh my god, and she was just, like, so, like, I mean, I will say this about Murder Cats. They do not do plot twists great. They never have. the thing with like the parentage of Mothwing and Hawkfrost, Fire Alone being Firestar, Blue Star being Mistyfoot and Stonefern's mother was like a little bit, but they dropped hints. Which is like, you know, when it's for a younger audience, you want to drop hints and stuff like that. Even Yellowfang being Broken Star's mother. There are all these tiny little hints throughout that make you go back and go, oh, like yeah, which is important, but sometimes Warrior Cats bashes you over the head with it. With this one, it genuinely, when I read it when I was a kid, caught me off guard. I'm like, oh my god, it was Feathertail, and it makes so much sense because when and Storm for even makes a point of it, and he's like, yeah, like we were wet, like soaking wet, and so Feathertail's oh my god, Feathertail's fur was like really dark because she was soggy, and he's like, but I mean, they make a point of saying how much she looks like Silverstream. Like, even when Silverstream stops at Stormfur, and she's like talking to him, goes, oh my god, I thought that was Feathertail. And they say Feathertail looks so much like Silverstream. So, of course, and like, you think back on it, and you're like, never once did they like spoon feed it to you. But you think, oh my god, of course, like it's right there in her mom's name, and they're constantly comparing her to her mom. I'm like, oh, that is so good. Oh my god. But kind of going back to it, it's like, oh my god, Warrior Cats Fan 2009. How am I doing? I'm not doing too bad. I'm tatting cats, and I honestly could not be doing better. It is so, oh man. Thank you. How are you doing, buddy? The one and only says, bro, why did they think Stormfur was that silver cat? He is dark gray, not silver. Are you mouse brained? In that same thing, yeah, actually, I have no thing, but because they were saying that they were soaking wet, so maybe it was like the moonlight or something. I'm not sure, but in any case, I didn't clock it as a kid. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. The tribe is so much wasted potential, says Existent. They could have written them as a cool new group with their own culture, but they got written as a worse clan that needs to be clanified to survive. You know what? I have to agree. Well, like yeah, I think for a lot of it, like they have some cool things that they do. I don't love some of the, in my mind, I have to be careful because I don't want to be that person and be like looking for problems in a book that maybe isn't there. But I don't love how they almost parrot other cultures from real life and put it into this weird, I don't know, it felt, there was a couple times I'm like, oh, this feels a little not okay. Like the naming system, I'm like, this kind of feels a little disrespectful. And there were certain things where I'm like, why exactly are we doing it this way? I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, but I also have to remember, okay, there's things in the world that are pressing and important, and really at the end of the day, this cat book was written in however long ago, but I think it is important to be aware. But I think that they did the try in a very interesting way, not a way that I would have done it, but I think, yes, they could have done a lot more with it. And I don't like that they just reduce them to, I don't know, just like, who's texting me? That's an ungodly hour. My goodness. Sorry. Oh, another ad. I do apologize, but thank you for sticking it out. I've lost my train of thought. Oh, the tribe. Yeah, so, okay, kind of going backwards. Sorry, I kind of got distracted. But how did Feathertail die? Did she die from the impact of hitting the ground after she jumped off the, I don't know if we decided stalagmite. Did she jump and, like, hit the ground and get, like, not, like, I don't know. But, in any case, she perishes. I wish I could give you money to work cats. No. I just like it when you guys hang out and cast with me. So please just know you guys being here is perfect. That's all I need. I just need to chat about cats. I love you guys, and that's just what I love. But so I think it was her hitting the ground. But so Sharptooth dies. And then everybody clambers over to Feathertail. And Feathertail, twice before, Crowpaw had said to Feathertail, I saved your life, kind of thing. Like, don't make me save you again, kind of thing. I think it was, I can't remember them, but I know that it happened once she was falling off a cliff, and I think he grabbed her scruff and pulled her back up. I cannot remember the other one though. Maybe a hawk? I don't know, but maybe she was under the stalag whatever and got crushed by its existence. That's what I thought, but then wouldn't she have hit Sharptooth first, but I just don't know. I think we just have to be like, oh, okay. I gotta imagine that it's just really high up, and maybe she fell and then pieces. I don't know, but she just perished. But she doesn't perish enough to like be instantly KO'd, but she wakes up, kind of. She's like barely awake, and she's like, you have to. Oh my god, it is so. And I was getting emotional even listening to it this time around. I'm like, this is genuinely, probably up until this point, the best death done in Warrior Cats. Because Stormfur comes up to her and he's like, I can't do this without you. And she's like, well, you're gonna have to. Like, she's like, I can't come home with you. Like, this is how it is. And then Crowpaw comes over. Oh, God. And then she goes something to the effect, impaled pin to the floor. That is so intense as the one and only Berserker cat. That is so intense. Holy cow. Not that I like that, but the imagery of that is so stark. I like that. But, yeah, I always remember as Feathertail getting impaled. You know, I don't think they ever say that in the book, but I like that better, because, like, that feels, like, really intense. One, not two. Oh god, that's a song I want to redo. But, so she looks up at Crowpaw, and she goes, you know, I saved you once, don't make me do it again. I'm like, bro, why? And it was just so good, and they brought it back, and I get that they set those up for this exact reason, but it still got me like, oh, Feathertail now. And so, I was like, man, it's just so sad. And, poor Crowpaw, like, you know, and they kind of really show how much, I don't know, there's times, here's a take, there's times that I'm like, were they really that close? And they kind of make mention to it, but when we do get her POV for the 5 seconds, we do see how much she cares for him, and we see a side of him that, like, we don't know. And you know what, hang on, maybe I'm talking myself out of it, because I guess we don't really understand the relationship until we do get their POV. Iggy. Yo, Iggy. She chased Goop off her bed, and now Iggy doesn't even lie on it. You are a bully. Yeah. Oh, now she's being cute. Iggy. Oh, I can be you. So cute. Oh, I just want to eat her. Goop, get on your bed and tell her to get off. Yeah. Get on your bed, Goop. Yeah, you're okay. Go on. I know. She's so sad. Melanie just doesn't want the cat to touch her. Oh. I only now realize Crow Leaf is basically a rebound romance. Says Becca, you know what? You are so right. So right. And I truly don't think that Crowfeather, loved anybody else. Not Nightcloud, not Leafpool. I think in StarClan, if the 3 of them were lined up, he would choose Feathertail every time, without even a hesitation. And, like, I don't think that Leafpool and Crowfeather were in love. I really don't. And I think they were both dealing with stuff in their own way, and I truly don't think they actually even loved each other. And maybe that's terrible. And I know I wrote a song where they did, but I'm just choosing to ignore that fact. But it was definitely, I'll have to go, because I can't really remember too much about Leafpool. I'll have to go back. But I know that Crowfeather was like trying to be like, oh, like I have no place in the clan, and his whole thing with Feathertail and just everything, and he was all out of sorts, and I truly do think that she was a rebound. And that is not okay for Leafpool. She deserves so much better. Hi, Blixemi, I'm going hiking. Can you say hi, sis Storyteller? Hello, Storyteller. Be safe. Watch out for Sharptooths. Don't let them come after you. But no, I'm just joking. That is kind of not a nice thing to say, but you know, hello. Oh, Iggy. Again? Yeah, Goob. Give her the old 1-2. Tell her, Goob. Goob is, what, 4 or 5 times her size? But it's Bentley and Goob, the same dog, just different names. Goob will look at her and she'll go, ugh, and she'll, like, put her little paw up, like, no. Tell her no, Goob. Tell her no. She won't stand up for herself. Goob, just say no. Iggy, psst, psst. Okay, these two, hold on. Iggy, come here. Psst, psst. Yeah, come here. Oh, she may be coming back. No, she ignored me. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought. So yeah, Feathertail perishes. And everybody's sad. And they make such a note of how quiet it is on the way home. It's just so different. They're all like shocked. They're all dealing with grief. And also, before I get to that point, actually, it is actually so funny how, like, butthurt Stormfur is about the whole thing. Sorry. Because he was like, he was like, well, it wasn't me. I wasn't the prophecy cat. Like, and a couple times he brings it up of like, oh, it was her. Like, it should have been me. But it's said in a way where I think he's like, oh, it should have been me who died, not her. But it definitely comes off as like, that was kind of my thing. Like, that was what? Like, no, that was my thing. And it's just so funny the way he brings it up all the time. And he's like, well, I was supposed to be the prophecy cat. And it's like, bro, come on. And it's not. That's not what he intended at all. But it just read that he was so, you know, and he runs already tackled that topic. Oh, for sure. Like, honestly, when I wrote that, I'm like, I didn't care about Crow Feather. Like, Crow Feather, in my opinion, did not care at all about Nightcloud. Not even a little bit. And I think that it was just like a relationship of him trying to prove himself. He was loyal to Wind Clan, and Nightcloud like genuinely caring about him, which I don't actually in the books. Like, I don't actually think she does, but in my headcanon she does. And Crowfeather's just like, he has in my mind like oh, I can't think of the word. What's my word that I want? No, oh god, I can only think of a different A word that I'm not gonna say on here. Avoidant. He's like a very avoidant, and so like I think he was just like, okay, like Nightcloud is here to, as PG to say it, to be warm beside me and snuggle with me at night, and like, you know, like, sure, why not, like, you know. And I don't think he actually loved her. I think he was just like trying to fill that void. But Nightcloud, to her, she was like, oh yeah, I love him. And he loves me, but he actually didn't. But I feel like he would have put on like a fakey, like, yeah, no, I love you, but he truly didn't. And I think he loved Leafpool more than Nightcloud. Wow, I'm going into spoilers, which I'm not supposed to, but I'll say this one thing that I won't bring up anymore. I think he truly did love Leafpool more than Nightcloud, but I think the reason being is because it reminded him so much of Feathertail, and it reminded him of his whole cross-clan thingy and that whole thing, but I don't think he loved either of them. But yes, oh yeah, so Stormfur is all like, oh, I was supposed to be the prophet's cat, blah, blah, blah. I thought that was funny. But anyway, so that whole thing happens, and then in the epilogue, they're heading home. They come over the horizon, and they get home comically fast. It takes like 3 pages to get home, and I'm like, that takes the wind out of the sail of how intense that was supposed to be, because they get home like that. And I get that it's a time skip, I do, but it's like 3 pages later, and they're like, yes, we've been traveling for days, and then over the horizon, Squirrel Paw gasps, but she's like, we're almost there. And then what do they see in the distance? High stones. They were almost home in the bookends. And I'm like, oh my god, like, they make it, like, they took 0 time to get home. Which I understand, they, like, saved us the pain of doing all of the traveling. But for some reason, it just struck me as like, okay, well, that felt like a little bit too easy for all of that, but it is funny. But yeah, and then we're home, and they're seeing the destruction of the forest. So now all the cats are home. And now we see what happens next. So next book is after Moonrise. What is it? My book here. It's in Forest of Secrets, I think, at the beginning. We got Moonrise, and then we got Dawn. Hopefully I actually have Dawn. Can I see it from here? Let me see my bookshelf. Can I see it? Uh-oh. Well, let me turn my headphones on. Don't mind me. I'm gonna be right here. Do we have Dawn? What the? Are you joking me? Do I not have Dawn either? Oh, so good. Hold on. No, that can't be right. Rising Storm. Huh. Starlight. Oh. Damn, really? What the hell? For some reason, I don't have Dawn, I don't think. What the heck? Oh, I'll hopefully try and... I'm gonna buy that one, actually. Why would I not have those 2? What's after Dawn? Because I can see Twilight. Sorry, my chair is so squeaky and old. Why don't I have Dawn? What's after Dawn? I have Twilight. Is that the next one? Yeah, oh, Starlight. Do I have Starlight? Oh, let's see. Okay, I have Sunset, Twilight. Oh, I have Starlight. I don't think I have Dawn. What the hell? Okay, well. Maybe. I don't want to do another audiobook. That guy's accents were killing me. I'll have to I'll pick it up. Maybe I'll pick those 2 books up. Because why I don't have them is beyond me. But yeah. So next week we're gonna do Dawn, and hopefully I'll have the book. And yeah, so that's about it. Nothing too crazy after that. So thanks for hanging out for me. Sorry again for having to cut this book into 2 smaller streams, but we got through it. But next week will be the full 2-hour stream, and we'll get back to normal. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna be playing Pokemon like crazy. Let's be so real. That's exactly what I'm gonna do after this. I got the new game, and yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna play a butt ton of Pokemon. So you guys have a good one, and we will catch you out. Hopefully, I'd like to do some more streaming on TikTok this week. Maybe some more Path of Titans. Ooh. Oh, if I streamed Pokemon on TikTok, would you watch that? Ooh, how fun. I'm back and I ordered a pizza, says Twixted. I'm so jealous, man. Oh, I love pizza. Barbecue chicken pizza, no green peppers. Extra barbecue sauce. I'm telling you, so good. So good.